my YouTube. Welcome to another episode of Run the Day, Run the Day, Run the Day, the daily sports show. I got a very special guest today. First time on here, my boy Rico Hoppin. Rico, how you doing, brother?
Doing good, Ant. Just chilling.
Just chilling.
Woke up, so yeah, just doing as good as I can right now.
Let me put us live on IG really quick. Yeah, bro. I mean, we're here today to discuss some Puerto Rican basketball. I got a lot of Puerto Rican basketball hot takes on who's the greatest Puerto Rican player ever and
Oh
stuff
wow.
like that. Nah, I'm playing.
Okay.
Nah, but we're
All right. There's like one answer I think that's like acceptable. But
who? I don't even know a Puerto Rican basketball player.
Carlos Arroyo, I think, is like the guy out here.
That's like
He
an old
beat,
point guard, right? Is
yeah.
Jared McCain Puerto Rican?
I don't think so. No. I think like for Puerto Ricans, I think like Carlos Arroyo, because he was the point guard when they beat USA in the Olympics or FIBA games, whatever it was, in like the early 2000s.
What about NBA point guard go? I got a name here.
NBA point guard.
Beat LeBron in the finals.
JJ, yeah. It's either JJ Barea or Arroyo, or the two. But I'd say Arroyo is probably more people would probably say Arroyo.
There's a lot of Puerto Rican NBA players actually. I didn't know Shabazz Napier.
I didn't know that one either. The
There
only
you
ones
go.
I really know right now, yeah, Alvarado,
Alvarado.
and
What's up,
then
Philly?
I know like the Thompson brothers. I know they're Puerto
They're
Rican.
Puerto Rican?
Yeah,
Dang. I see a Ethan Thompson. I don't see the Thompson twins. I see Strother, Julian Strother.
yeah,
Mo Harkless, I would never have guessed is Puerto Rican.
yeah.
Um, but all right, we could talk a little bit about basketball, Rico. You want to talk about like your high school basketball experience and then why you ended up choosing
Hmm.
where you went to college and kind of how that went?
Yeah. So I mean, in high school, I grew up in San Diego. I grew up in Mira Mesa. And Mira Mesa is like a really big neighborhood, really big community. So they have a really big like public school. And it's like right next to my house, a couple minutes from my house. But it's a good school, but like there's the others that are better in the county, like as far as like academics goes. And so my parents wanted me to be able to go to the best school possible. So we entered it's like a lottery system kind of like you can transfer districts and
Okay.
pick a school within the district if you like get selected. It's all like a random. I really
Let's go,
hope this
Rico.
guy's not a Dodger fan because you're gonna have to kick him out. Um, but well, thank you for joining. That's glad that he's watching. But yeah, so I entered like a lottery system. I ended
You
up
went
getting
into live streamer mode for a second.
yeah, bro. I mean,
Every view counts. Thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Go
Um,
ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, we entered a lottery system. We ended up like getting picked to be able to switch districts, and so I picked a school in Rancho Santa Fe called Westview. My parents picked it. Like at the time, I was like, I kind of wanted to just go to Mira Mesa because that's like all where all my friends from like middle school went.
Okay.
That was this. I hate the Dodgers more than anything. But all right, we'll stay on.
Phil getting you going in the chat. That's Phil, by the way, if you didn't know.
That's Phil.
Yeah, Phil getting you going.
Dodgers suck, Phil. Um, but yeah, we so I ended up going to Westview. It was like a public school. I didn't know anybody on my first day. Like legitimately showed up first day of school and nobody knew who I was, except for like there was like one other kid that from Mira Mesa that went there with me.
Okay.
Um, Showed up to basketball tryouts. Nobody knew who I was. Um, and like at the time I was good. Like I was already like 6'2" ish, and like I was I was like had been playing travel ball a lot and stuff, so I was already like good. And so I showed up and I'm like one of the bigger guys there, and I'm a guard, and so everybody's like, "Who is this guy?" And so I ended up going to tryouts. Like talked with the JV coach. Like they put me on JV at first initially, and then like I was doing good on JV. So like right before the season started, they had me move up to varsity, and so I played varsity my freshman year. And
Damn.
then just throughout high school, played 4 years of varsity. My first year, actually, like halfway through the year, I wasn't playing very good, and I was a freshman, so my coach was like, "All right, well, you're just not playing that great, and so we'll send you down to JV just so you can play more." And I remember, oh my gosh, when my coach told me that, I remember like being in my car when my dad picked me up. I was just crying. I was like, I was just a mess. I was so sad they were gonna send me down to JV. I don't know. I just felt like I was a failure because of it.
Yeah.
But I ended up like it was right before Christmas break. So Christmas break came, we had school, and I just remember going to the gym like every day for like once or twice every day, just practicing, working as hard as I could because I did not want to go down and play JV. And so break came, and just, like games started back up, and I started like doing pretty well, and I was able to finish the season. I think I had like a 20-point game or a 15-point game like towards the end of the year, so that was cool.
There
And
you
then I
go.
broke, and then I broke my hand. It was like it was the end of the season. It was like second to last game, I think, and I was playing 3-on-3 at LA Fitness the night before, which shows you how smart we are. It's like whenever 14, 15-year-olds. I was playing 3-on-3 the night before, and I missed the layup, and I punched the wall and broke my hand, and so that ended my freshman year. Um,
Damn.
yeah,
That's as someone who peaked in JV basketball. Let's not disrespect JV goats around here. All right.
nothing wrong with JV.
I was
Nothing
a
wrong.
JV killer. You could ask Phil, bro. They would pack out the arenas to watch JV
Bro, I'm
games for me.
saying though, especially like at the like right before the varsity game starts, like when the
Yeah.
JV games, they get pretty fire. I'm not
Bro,
gonna lie.
I'm telling you, because when I played JV, but I swore I was good enough to be on varsity, right? But
Mhm.
we had 6 guys on JV. So I think that's why they wouldn't call me up. So every
Yeah,
game, bro, like it's just texts and me getting heated, and it got ugly, bro, because I was ready to punch a wall too. And then I ended up not playing my senior year just because fucking mentally I checked out. Like I was it was too much, bro. I was a
yeah.
hothead.
No,
But
it's hard, bro.
it
I
is.
know. Yeah, so I finished that on my freshman year, and then I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, so diehard Warriors fan. So I'm used to watching Draymond and everybody, So that's like just what I'm used to. So I was getting texts left and right in high school, and the AAU was the worst, dude. I mean, I got teed up like pretty much every tournament. I would always just talk so crazy
Is that a
to them.
common thing like out there in like because you grew up in San Diego, but you're a Warriors
Yeah,
fan, yeah?
yeah.
So in San
So
Diego, are people more hot headed than like you would say maybe closer to where you played college basketball? Or
um I would say it's like I would just say in general, like yeah, like nowadays a lot of people are just very hot headed. I think I don't know. Everybody just always complains about refs, and so I think as I've gotten older, and I've actually started to ref like kids like as a part time job. Like
okay,
as I started to get older, I realized like these guys are actually like it's hard. It's hard to be a referee, and they're like 99.9% of them just want the games to be fair, and they're doing it for a paycheck. So
yeah.
um, you just gotta like understand that the calls aren't going to go your way. And if you focus on the refs and being upset, whatever, all that stuff, it really takes away from your focus on the game. So, like, as I learned that, I started to talk to the refs less and less. Or I don't talk to refs at all, really, anymore now. But
You would
yeah, in
talk
high
shit to
school,
refs?
uh,
You would
I used to,
talk,
you know, I have one. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I got into it a little bit with some refs. And, I was like 15, 16 years old, like, damn near cussing out refs at AAU tournaments. I was just like crazy, right?
I used to cuss out other players, and that's where my text would come from. But never the
Yeah.
refs. I let the refs rock. I would kiss the refs' ass so I could have the longest leash possible to do whatever the fuck I wanted.
Yeah, but I mean, bro, AAU, they're just trying to get in and out, bro. They're trying to get the games going, so
Yeah.
they're not calling anything. So second or third time I get hammered and there's no call, I was just in their ear. It was bad. I just didn't really have like self
You
control, I
that's
guess.
the notes you took from Draymond. Draymond,
Exactly. I was like, dude, I'm watching because me and my dad would watch all the games. So I was like, every night, I'm watching Draymond, who's like, max player, winning championships. He's cussing out the refs. I'm like, all right, well, I guess it's okay for me to do it. So
You're
my
trying to
high
be a
school
max
coach,
player.
yeah. So my high school coach, I kind of was like, dude, you gotta stop talking to the refs. And anytime I got teed up, I'd have to sit for like the rest of the quarter or the rest of the half, whatever it was. But
Damn,
um,
that's tough. Well, let's go into your sophomore year now.
yeah,
What's sophomore Rico looking like?
yeah. Sophomore year,
Broken hand.
well, came back. So it was like my last game my freshman year. I broke my hand. So played AAU that summer. I have I have a funny story. I think it was either going into my sophomore or going into my junior year. It was right when Phil, you're gonna like this one. When Paul Pierce was like the last year of his career. And you remember when Draymond got into it with Paul Pierce and he's like, man, you want a farewell tour? They don't love you like that. You're
They
not
don't
Kobe.
love you like that.
So him and Draymond got into it. So I'm playing AAU in Vegas, and Paul Pierce's team is on the court next to us. So it's like Team Truth or whatever. And so they're playing, and like the way the gym is, there's a door, and there's one way in, one way out. And so we're on the first court, and then they're on the second court. But the benches are weird. So like they're on the baseline.
Okay.
So I'm sitting on the bench, and I'm getting ready to check into the game. And Paul Pierce, like their game finishes before ours. And so they're like walking in front of our bench to like get out of the gym. And here comes Paul Pierce, and Paul Pierce comes walking by, and I swear to you, it was like 3 days after that whole thing. And so I don't know what got into me, but I was like, Paul, you're not like Draymond, bro. Like I said something
You were
like
talking.
you're not as nice as Draymond. And he turned to me, he said, What did you say, kid? I was like, and he's like, hey man, you better watch who you're talking to. He's like, all right. He's like, I better see you in the league one day. He's like, you want to talk to me like that? I better see you in the league one day. He's like, you better, then he like started chirping at me a little bit. And my coach turned and he's like, what are you doing?
That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
enough to get a bench.
it was funny. We had like a little bit of like a back and forth, and then I was like checked into the game and just kept playing. But it was so funny. I didn't really expect him to say nothing, but he full on stopped and was yelling at me in front of the whole gym. It was so
You
funny.
chirp Paul Pierce for no reason. You
So yeah,
chirp Paul Pierce
well,
just because you're a
Phil
Warriors
answered
fan.
why I asked why I.
Why you're a Warriors fan, or what made you play basketball?
Is that my connection or Anthony's connection?
I feel like it's always my connection, bro. If I'm being honest. Can you hear me still or no? Yo. Chat, whose connection's tripping? Let me know. Wait, we're good now? Oh, yeah, we just lost Rico. All right, we're gonna get him back in here. Oh, never mind. He is back in here. Okay. You good?
Am I back? Did I cut
Yeah.
out?
I think so. I'm not
My
gonna lie.
bad. Port out here in Puerto Rico, bro. The Wi-Fi and the electricity, it's all hit or miss. So
You're good. You're good.
Hopefully it stays.
So you're talking about how you shit on Paul Pierce.
Yes, that was an all-time classic story. I think. Well, Phil in the before I continue, Phil in the whatever asked why I started playing basketball.
Oh,
I just remember like when I was younger. So baseball was my first sport, but I remember in elementary school, we would play knockout. You know how to play knockout
yeah.
or lightning or whatever they call it. So we played knockout at lunch. And I just remember like when I was a little kid in elementary school, I would look forward to playing knockout every day. Like that was like my favorite part of every day. And like I would cry when I got knocked out, and when kids would team up, we'd like fight and stuff. It was it was just like the best. And so I just remember loving playing knockout. And then like still loved to play baseball, and I was good at baseball. But like as I got older, kids started throwing harder, and balls are flying by my face. I'm like, I don't really know if I'm like too into this anymore. And so, but I just remember loved playing knockouts. So kept playing, and then like we would play like some 3-on-3, 4-on-4. And I just loved playing basketball like in elementary school, and just like fell in love with playing. And then I would like start watching the Warriors. And so I remember like at that time, like my first favorite player was Monta Ellis.
That's a goat.
So we'd watch all their games. And I remember I was at school, all my friends were Laker fans, and they would always like troll me about the Warriors because at the time the Warriors were awful and the Lakers were like winning championships. And so I remember one day at school, like my friends, like, did you hear like Monte Ellis got traded? Monte Ellis got traded. I was like, no, he didn't. They would never trade him. And so I like looked it up and I called my dad. I was like, did they trade Monte Ellis? He's like, yeah, they did. And I still remember I started crying. And I was like, who'd they get? He was like, Andrew Bogut. I was like, who's that? Yeah.
Damn.
So yeah, I did that and just kept playing and and then I signed up for a rec league, played in the rec league, loved it. And then played for like, some teams in middle school. Started playing at lunch in middle school, played for more rec teams, and then I decided I wanted to quit baseball and just play basketball full time. So that's kind of how I got into that.
At least for me, who's someone who never played like high level basketball, I think the most fun basketball was middle school basketball. Like that shit felt like the
100%,
finals.
100%,
At lunch specifically, like just playing
100%.
against your friends, and then you go into class and you're just talking shit after.
Oh,
Like, there's
literally.
nothing like that.
So I remember, so like in my middle school, it was weird. So we had two different lunch times. Like half the school would go to lunch at 12 o'clock, half the school would go to lunch at 12:45. But once a month, we would have lunch the whole school at once. And
Oh,
when they
that's
did
game
that,
7.
bro, oh my god, bro, I'm like setting the alarm. I'm getting up early. Like normally, I'm like getting out of bed. Dude, that day I was getting to school. I'm like getting there early so I can warm up, bro. It was,
You're stretching.
at that time, you're insecure, like whatever, 13-year-old, and like all the cool kids want me on their team because I'm like pretty good, So that was the time to just like, just go
Just
out there.
kill.
It was so fun, man. I loved it. That was like the best. And then obviously, you move into high school and it gets a little more serious, but
But
yeah,
it hits different, bro. In middle school, our teachers would play with us. So like there was like 2
really?
teachers, one would play on each team. So if you give a teacher a bucket, like that teacher can't tell you nothing in class. If they say be quiet, it's like, no, you be quiet.
Exactly.
I gave you 7 at lunch.
Exactly. Or if they're giving you buckets, like, you better watch your mouth, buddy.
Oh yeah, they would talk shit too. They'd be like, "Oh, you're trash." I'm like, "Bro, I'm 11 and you're 38." Like
That's crazy. But isn't it wild to look back in like middle school and be like, bro, these guys are really like 40 years old in a classroom with like 13-year-olds, and some of them like talk crazy like that, dude.
yeah, bro, it's
It's
tough.
hilarious.
It's tough. I think about that because I coach now too.
Oh,
So like
really?
I coach at the middle school I used to be at. So
Oh,
like
that's
I'm
fire.
chilling with all the teachers that used to like play with me at lunch and stuff, and I'm like, damn, bro.
That's
Like
fire.
it's kind of wild, like seeing how much 7 at lunch is crazy. I'm like that, Phil. You know that. All
That's
right.
funny.
Let's talk about your sophomore year, not middle school.
All right.
How did
Yeah.
your high school season start off?
We'll kind of fly through high school because there's not too much more. This guy asked, "Have you ever committed a felony?" I
I
have
seen
not.
that one. I kept that to myself.
Yeah. Well, I'll share. I mean, I have more on that in a little bit, but
Okay.
the answer is yes, and I can talk about it. But
Okay.
so high school, like sophomore year, I started so my sophomore, junior, senior year, I started every game. Sophomore year, like my freshman year, we made the D1 play. So like in California, it's open D1, D2, D3, D4, D5. So we were in D1 because we were a big school, but I mean we weren't that great, so we got hammered by. Have you seen that video of the guy where he's like, it's an old video, and he's a football player, and he's getting interviewed, and he's like, "It's a finesse thing. It's a finesse thing." I don't know if you've seen it. It was
I
like
don't know.
it was big in San Diego. It's like all over. Like it's one of those videos where like once a year, like uh,
Oh, I
uh
have seen this.
yeah, all those like meme accounts will post it. So that guy was the point guard, and he was nice. It was the team we played in the first round my freshman year. They killed us. And then the next year we moved down to D2. So we were in D2, and it was like our first time making the playoffs in a while. And we won our first game. And then our second game, we were like the 8 seed or whatever, playing the 2 seed, and they were in our conference, and we ended up beating them. And that was like
Movie.
it was just a wild, crazy day. And so that was a lot of fun. My junior year, and then my sophomore year, I'm like still just like kind of a sophomore. Like I'm out there, I'm doing good, but I'm nothing great. And then like my junior year, first half of the year, like I'm doing good, and then my second half of the year is when I really like took off and I started like, putting up like 20, having like 20-point games, 30-point games, and I was doing really well. And so then that's when like some D2 schools like started to be interested in me. Like Point Loma like was the first school that hit me up.
I didn't know they had basketball.
The Point Loma Nazarene.
Yeah, I didn't know they had any sports. I
Yeah,
thought that
bro.
was
I
like a
mean,
super preppy school.
their basketball when I was a freshman in college, I want to say, no, a senior in high school, their basketball team made it to the national championship game. Like they've won their conference a bunch of years in a row. So
Damn.
actually really nice. So they were the first school to hit me up, and then my senior year, or like junior year going into senior year, I played AAU, and that's where the college recruitment started. And I did good. We played like my AAU. My team was nice, so we were like, I played for Game Point, and Game Point had like the 17U A team and 17U B team. And the 17U A team, I think like every single one of those kids went D1, and
Really?
then yeah, like half the team, and then the other half played like D2. Our team, the 17U, the B team, we were still good though. So it's like a couple of us went D2, a couple of us went JUCO, but we were good. And so I swear to you, I think we lost like 2 or 3 games
Damn.
all summer. And so one tournament we were playing, and we match up with Compton Magic, but the Compton Magic team had like the Mobley brothers, Johnny Juzang,
Oh
uh,
hell no.
whatever, something Lucas, Jared Lucas. I mean, what's the dude from the Timberwolves that played at UCLA?
Jalen Clark.
Yeah, Jalen Clark, like all those guys, like the most stacked team you could ever imagine in AAU. And we were up like 10 at half. So it was Sunday, so it was the first day of playoffs. And so if you lose, you're out. If you win, then you play the next day, or it
Okay.
was Saturday. So my dad, like, it's funny. My dad showed up. He's like, he expected us to be coming home. So we're up like 15 at halftime. Like it was like an 8 a.m. game. I think they just rolled out of bed, saw they're playing like a bunch of random kids, and we'll just like stroll through. But we were like good.
Yeah,
We had
yeah.
one kid that could have gone probably D2, D1 if he wanted to. He played football at SDSU. Then we had me. Then we had another kid that like was good enough to go D. I think he ended up going D2. Our point guard went D2. So we had a solid squad, but we were all like, we didn't have like a true big. So our big was like 6'4" white kid.
And y'all were playing the Mobleys.
Bro, we're playing the Mobleys. It's like me at the 4, this other kid, and then we got 3. Like the reason we were so good was because we had 4 guards that could all like get up the floor, pass, shoot.
Okay.
And so we would just run teams out the gym, and we could all shoot.
At
And
8 a.m.
so oh yeah, at 8 a.m. I'm sure they just rolled out of bed, whatever. And so we hit them quick, and we're running. We're up like, I swear to you, we're up like 15 at half. And then it was funny because like the top team, like their head coach came and sat down on the sideline on our bench, and like people, it was cool. And so my dad said he's at halftime. He's like looking for hotels like the next night because he's like, dude, if you guys win, like we got to find a hotel. We ended up losing. It was like it was such a bummer, bro. It was like we had to lead the whole game, and then with like 3 minutes left, they finally tied it, and then they just like won by like 6 or 8 at the end. It just got to the point where like we just got kind of gassed out, and like the Mobley would just get an offensive rebound and just punch it.
There's only so
They
much
just
you
like
can
had
do.
so much size and athleticism. We couldn't hold the lead forever. But
So who are you guarding?
I guarded Juzang for most of the game. I guarded Juzang and like Jared Lucas for a majority of the time.
Juzang had a good year last year, right?
I think he played for Utah.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of came up last year, if I'm remembering right. There you go, a little 9 points per game. Okay, Johnny.
Yeah, it was fire. So I have a little clip where like he's guarding me. I did a crossover and hit a floater. Oh, so I do a crossover, and I get by Juzang, and then I hit a floater over Mobley. It's like the coolest clip that I think I could ever have.
That's an NBA clip, bro. You got to show scouts that. They're like, why are you showing us a clip from your junior year of high school?
Like 2018.
All right, and then we get into your
Yeah.
junior season, right?
Yeah, well, no, so that was after my junior season.
Okay.
So my junior season, we made the playoffs, and we got my junior season, we make the playoffs. We win in the first round. Second round, we're playing Otay Ranch. We're up 19 in the third quarter. I get my fourth foul. I have to sit down. I come back with like 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter and we lose. We blew it in the second round, so that was a real bummer. So we're like
Damn.
trying to get back our senior year, and my team is like we're like my senior year. We're all seniors. It's like 8 or 9 seniors. We'd all been playing together for a while. Like, we're a good team. And then I committed to Azusa Pacific, which is the T2 school I went to. I committed to them like right before Halloween.
Okay.
So I committed to them like before my season even started. So it was nice. Pressure was off. I was like, all right, cool. I'm already committed. I know where I'm going. I don't need to worry about it. So it was cool. My senior year goes, have a good year. I got all conference, I think, my junior and senior year. And then playoffs come around and we're the 2 seed. We had the most wins in school history, the most conference wins, whatever, all that stuff. And it was just cool, man, because it was like we did it. I did it with the team that we were all like, we all did it together, like from when we were sophomores up until junior, my
That's
senior.
gas.
Yeah, it was fire. And so we're the 2 seed. We're the 2 seed in the playoffs, and yeah, I don't think we'd played the one. I don't think we'd played the 1 seed, but they were like pretty cool, pretty good team. Um, I want to say we beat that. We ended up beating the team that was the number 1 seed in the regular season. So like we were confident, like, hey, if we get to the playoffs, like we're good. So we're the 2 seed, play the 15 seed, bro. We're up, whatever, 15 again, and we freaking blew it, dude, and we lost in overtime.
Fuck that.
My only 2 games in my high school career I ever fouled out. Both of them were my last game, my junior year, and my last game, my senior year, and it was the same ref. And I'd never fouled out to any other games in my life.
You
And so,
cussed
like,
out that ref a couple of times or what? He didn't like you?
so after my junior year, so like my junior year, he called the foul where I had 2 in the first half, and then he calls a foul, runs over to the table, and he like forgets who he calls it on, and I'm the closest guy, so he just points at me and calls it on me. So like I wasn't even in the play, and he just gave me the foul. So like we went back on film and watched it, bro, after the game, because I was still when I was like a little kind of crazy. So after the game, like we were in the handshake line. I'm like, season's over. He can't do anything. I got in his face, and I, I yelled at him so bad. And so he emailed my coach and was like, just so you know, I could have him suspended for next season for what he did and blah, blah, blah. You need to tell him that wasn't okay. And so, I don't know. I just guess he took it out on me the next year. So, yeah, lost. And then, I mean, I don't know, bro. That's honestly that's stuck with me for a long time, man. That really still hurts. Like our starting center who started, so me and him started every game from our sophomore to our senior season. He got food poisoning the night before and he couldn't play. And
Oh,
it was just a weird game, man. Like we were just missing layups, missing open shots. They couldn't miss. They were like a
that's the
bunch of
average
sophomores,
March Madness 15 versus
bro.
2 seed.
Bro, they just, yeah, bro. They were just like a couple sophomores and they could go. Like they just got hot for whatever reason. Couldn't miss. We couldn't hit anything. We went to overtime. They hit a couple shots to start overtime and we just played from behind and couldn't get that pick, couldn't catch up. So it was a bummer, man. Still bummed about that. But yeah, that kind of was my high school journey in a nutshell.
So, did you commit to APU or Azusa Pacific if you guys aren't
Yeah.
Cali boys? Um Intentionally early, like so that you don't have that stress, or was it just like you knew you wanted to go there so you locked it in?
So I mean, in my mind, I probably wasn't going to go D1.
Uh
And I mean, at the time, it was, way recruiting was way different than it was nowadays. There was no NIL. Like, I don't even think there was a portal when I entered college. Um, so I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to go D1. I want to go D2, and I want to stay kind of close to home. Like, I want to go to a school that's like, I do want to go to a Christian school. I want to go to a school that's a little bigger. I don't really want to go to a Christian school that's like, the size of like what the school I ended up transferring to, LPU. Um,
okay.
and so APU is close to home. There are like 8,000 students. They had a football team. Um, it was like they're D2. They're good every year, top of their conference every year. Um, and I was like, yeah, fire. Like if they offer me, I'm gonna go there. And so there's another school in the conference, so Biola, that was like also recruiting me a bit.
That
And
would right on the beach, bro.
yeah, and so that's where I thought I was gonna end up going. And APU, like they just didn't seem super interested. I don't know. Like I just felt like they weren't super interested. So I just kind of it got to a point in the summer where I was like, I think I'm just gonna end up going to Biola. But APU came out of nowhere. They were like, I just come up for a visit. I came up for a visit, did a workout with them, and I swear it was the best workout I've ever done in my life. Like I did not miss.
You look
And
good out
so
there.
yeah, they like before the workout were like, we'll kind of see. After the workout, they're like, all right, well, we'll call you. Like, just stay in touch. So literally, like a week later, I want to say I went on a visit to school in Oregon, and while I was on my visit, their coach called me and was like, "Hey, we want to offer you a full scholarship." And so I was like, told my dad, and I was like, "I think that's where I want to go." And
Okay.
so he was like, "Yeah, well, if that's what you want to do, then like I fully support you. I think it's a great decision." And I was like, "All right." So I ended up deciding to commit at literally I committed to Azusa Pacific at a different school. Like I was on campus at the other school and I committed
Damn.
to APU. So I literally like had to tell the coach while I was there, like, hey, I just committed to Azusa Pacific, so I think I'm just gonna go home
I'm not gonna
now.
waste your time.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly. Yeah.
everyone in the YouTube chat, Instagram chat, um, what number one pick in the NBA went to Azusa Pacific? We're gonna test
Number
your
one
G
for what in basketball or football?
in basketball. There's a football player too that went there.
I know the Christian Okoye or whatever his name is was the
Yeah,
football guy.
but there was a number one pick that went there. I'm not tripping, right?
No, I don't think they've ever had a number one basketball pick.
Um, where do I see? Oh, what, bro? I swear this dude went there. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Is my whole life a lie? Because I used to go to we'd have tournaments at APU, right?
Yeah.
And I vividly remember my pops would be driving. He's like, you know who went here? This guy. But I might be
Who
wrong.
was it?
Michael Alo Candy, no?
I don't know.
Damn. No, he went to just Pacific University.
Uh,
My
that
pops is a
better.
liar, man. He don't know nothing about basketball. And he's always trying to talk to me. Come on, man. Just rocked my world. That
That's
was
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, I think the probably the most famous alumni they have would be I think like George Gervin's nephew went there.
Really?
Yeah, there's been some good players though. Like one of my teammates when I was a freshman at AP, one of my teammates he ended up playing for the Warriors G League team for a couple years after he graduated.
What was his name?
That's pretty dope. Selim Mawugbe. He plays in Italy right now.
Okay. Still boys with him?
Yeah, yeah,
There you go. Yeah, I don't see no names I know on the basketball list other than I could recognize the Gervin last name. There's probably
yeah.
not many Gervins out there.
No,
Um, in high school, what would you say you worked on kind of that like separated you from the rest of the people to get into like a D2, potentially D1 college?
I would say like for me, I think my biggest assets was just like honestly just like my size, like my height and my um like being like not super skinny, like I had a little bit of muscle on me. And so like being I think I was like 6'4" in high school, 6'3", 6'4". So being a 6'3", 6'4" guard like is always gonna help. But I think as far as like skill wise, just being able to shoot. I just remember I'd go to the gym every day. I'd go to the gym every day and I'd work on shooting. Like I just love to shoot threes. So I was always good at like spacing the floor. Um,
Okay.
and then I had a quick first step. So I just like would work on like off a triple threat, just like jab and go, or like give like a little rocker step, go right. Like I would work on those moves, and I had a kind of basic game at the time. It was really just like rip and go or shoot a three. I didn't really have much else, but like at high school, for at my size and speed and stuff, it worked.
But I feel like
Um,
there's a lot of players need to focus on stuff like that more because
yeah,
like not everyone could be the guy on the court, you know? Like you
yeah,
need four other guys out there and
yeah,
having guys that know what to do with the ball and aren't doing too much and slowing the game down. I look
yeah,
at like Liam McNeely, who's a guy like
hmm
that, who's just catch and shoot, but he also has that first step. Like
yeah,
stuff like that's kind of essential on any team.
yeah. I agree. I think it would definitely was like what helped separate me.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, I just think like I mean I just worked a lot on the fundamentals. I really just did a lot of like stationary ball handling, a lot of shooting drills, and a lot of just like practicing just like straight line drives, just like basic stuff. I've never been a like tween behind step back guy. Like I've always been just like a get to my spots, especially now. Like now I've gotten a lot more of like a pace to my game. I like post up a little bit, shoot middies, pull up threes. Like I do a lot more of everything now. But yeah, in high school I was just like super simple, just shoot, catch and shoot threes, shoot like a 1-2 dribble pull up, or
it's hard to be
try
the
and get
bad
out in
guy.
transition. So just like
Yeah, yeah.
super simple. But the biggest thing is just consistency. I like if you're consistent with your work, like no matter what it is, like I mean, bro, I'm like you know, when I go to AAU tournaments, I'm a 6'3" white kid that's like I'm not super fast. Like I don't know, like this is kind of like not foreshadowing, but when I was in college, like my junior year, or my going into my junior year, my sophomore, whatever, I can't remember. My coach was like, "Listen, you're not very fast. You're not very like big. You're not like you don't really have anything special about you." So like basically told me like that's why I'm not playing. And so I mean, but like whereas now I've had some success. Like I'm not super freak athletic. I'm not like, I'm like pretty tall and big, but I'm nothing like special in the basketball world. But like the biggest thing is I'm just like consistent every day with working hard and being fundamental and just like staying focused on doing it every day, no matter what, continuing to grow. And like I have these cool opportunities and like I was able to play college basketball. The biggest thing is just consistency, man. Like no matter with what you do, no matter if it's basketball or streaming, whatever,
Facts.
like as long as you're just consistent with it every day and you improve and you're just like worried about yourself and being the best that you can possibly be, like you're gonna outdo everybody. Because there's like 99% of people that say play basketball, play maybe a couple times a week. Like, "Ah, I got work, I can't play today. I got this, I can't play today. I got whatever." But that 1% that says, you know what, I got work, but I'm gonna get up early and work out before work, or I'm gonna, I have school, I'm gonna play after school, or I'm in the summer, I'm gonna go to LA Fitness 5, 6 times a week. Like those are the ones that are gonna um,
Y'all
make
take notes. Rico's dropping knowledge. That's
yeah.
facts.
Yeah. So that's like, for me being someone that's not super big, fast, athletic, that's kind of how I made it. Just kind of worked as hard as I could, and it was good
No,
enough to get into a D2 school. So it
I
was
feel like it's like almost that simple, you know? Like there's
yeah,
obviously the
yeah,
hours and stuff, but it's more like if you want to be great, bro, just go be great, you know? Like don't be the person that's going to hold yourself back. You feel me? Because
exactly.
that's facts, bro. Let's talk about college ball now. But before we do that, actually really quick, the best place to bet on college ball is Boom Fantasy. It's about to block your
Dude,
face. But shout out Boom Fantasy. Use code RTP for a risk-free bet. This is the longest we went into a stream without shouting out Boom. They got baseball, summer league, WNBA, all that. So check that out. Click that link or QR code or whatever. Now let's talk about your college basketball career. Go right ahead.
so got to Azusa. And I just like I felt like I fit in, like skill wise, like open gyms, I was doing good. Skill work, I was doing good. Practice, I was doing good. And I wanted to redshirt because I mean, I was going into a team that had a lot of like upperclassmen, and I, I'd rather like have a fifth year where I can play a lot,
Yeah.
be the guy versus my freshman year where I'm gonna play like maybe 5, 10 minutes a game. So I'd rather sit my first year and then tack that on at the end. So I was doing really well, man. I was doing really well in practice, doing really well in workouts. I was impressing the coaches, and so actually, so I committed, and this guy, Coach Leslie, was the coach, Justin Leslie, and so he was the coach that I committed to, but he left like right when my senior season ended, like right when their season ended, he stepped down to
Damn.
went to a different school. So I committed to him when he was the head coach. He stepped down, and then the assistant coach ended up becoming the head coach. But the assistant coach was the one that recruited me, so I was like, all right, cool, like I'll just stay. So I get there, doing well. The coach is like, I had the conversation with the coach and said, hey, like I want a red shirt. And he's like, well, you don't have to. Like, you've been doing well. Like, we think that we can find you some minutes. And, like, if guys go down, like, you could play a good amount. And I just told him I wanted to redshirt. Like, that was kind of my plan. And I told him that, like, before I committed. And so he's like, you know what? Like, because we talked about it already, like, I'll honor it. Like, you can redshirt. Like, we'll keep you on scholarship and you can redshirt. So I redshirted my freshman year, but did well, man. Practiced a lot. We had a really good team my freshman year. We won conference. We won the conference tournament. We went to the national tournament. I think we were the 2 seed in the national tournament. UCSD was number 1, and that's when we had
Damn.
our starting center was
Oliver Candy.
Mawugbe, who played he ended up playing for the Warriors, or the
Okay.
G League team. So we had just like a dominant big, and we just had a really solid team. And then that's when COVID hit. So the way they do the national tournament for D2 is so for each region they have like 8 teams that make it. So for the West region, there's 3 conferences: the GNAC, which is like all the Washington, Idaho schools; the CCAA, which is all the like Northern California and a couple of Southern California schools; and then the Pac West, which is the Southern California schools and some Hawaii schools. And I want to say Arizona, but I think it's just Cali and Hawaii. And so there's whatever that is, 3 times like 10. So it's like 30 something teams, and the top 8 make the national tournament. And so there's 8 regions. So 8 times 8 is 64. So that's how they get their 64 teams. So top 8 go to one site. So whoever's the number 1 seed, they host. So UCSD is number 1 seed. So we go to UCSD. We're staying in a hotel. And that's when, like, the rumors are going around with COVID. We don't know if we're going to play or not. Stuff's kind of starting to kind of go off. And then the Gobert thing happens. And I remember we were in the hotel room and we see on ESPN, Gobert has COVID. He's going to lockdown. And we're like, oh, God. And so stuff starts getting shut down, like SEC tournament postponed, Big 12 tournament postponed, Big 10 tournament postponed. And we're like, dude, it's only a matter of time. So they announced Pac West tournament postponed. And then, we're just sitting around hoping like it happens. And then like later in the day, like it was, dude, I swear to you, it happened like that. Like in the morning, we were like, all right, we play today at 7. And then the next they're just postponing. So the next day in the morning, we play at 7 o'clock or at night. So we have shoot around at like 10 a.m., whatever. So we have shooting around at 10 a.m. and we're going up and down, and we have a lot of seniors on our team. We're practicing, and we're going up and down, practicing whatever, doing our normal thing, scout, and then we start playing 5s at the end. And it just felt off. Like you could just tell something was wrong. And then someone came up to our coach, told him something, and then he left. And then when he did that, he walked up to me and my 2 friends who were also redshirting. He's like, "Hey, you guys get in there today." And when he told me that, I was like, "No, bro." That's when I was like, "Oh shoot, they just canceled it." So we subbed in, and I think as soon as we subbed in, people knew like, "Oh, this isn't good." Subbed in, finished the shoot around, and then after the shoot around, I'll never forget. We were all like, coach was like, "All right, everybody, bring it in." We're all in a circle, and our coach like starts tearing up, and he's like, "Yeah, guys, they just said that the rest of our season's canceled."
Fuck that.
Yeah, they just canceled the national tournament. So yeah, we're just like, love you guys. Whatever. Everybody said their piece. Everybody went around and said something about how much they loved the year, because it was like one of the best teams in school history. And so, yeah, they just kind of, it sucked. Guys were crying. We ended up getting on the bus. We got some food, and we went home. And then that's when
shut down.
the lockdown started. So that was the end of my freshman year. And then obviously now I'm going to my sophomore year, just finished my redshirt year. I'm playing now, but I'm like, dude, I don't even know if college basketball is going to be a thing anymore. Like, what the hell's going on? So I go home to San Diego and live with my parents during the lockdowns and stuff. And first thing, for me, I just love playing basketball. I've always, like, first game in the gym, I'm always wanting to get shots up everywhere. I'm always trying to find open runs. And I get home and all the gyms are locked, shut down. And I'm like, I'm like, dang, like, what the hell? What am I gonna do? Like, I don't want to go play outside. Playing outside sucks, especially for me as a shooter. And so, trying to find a gym. Can't. Nothing's working. And one of my friends is the same way as me, like junkie. Me and him are like best friends, and we went to the same high school. And he plays pro now,
Okay.
and he's playing Australia right now, but he's killing it. So he's gonna move up. And he went to Point Loma, and so he's like trying to find a gym, can't find anything. We're in so I'm just going to parks shooting by myself every day, and then I find some runs with some of like the people in the area because everybody's at home now. So all the people that play college and play pro that live in San Diego are just in San Diego. So everybody's like trying to find a place to play. So we go to some parks and run. I remember going to parks and like 45 minutes into the run, like security guards come and say, "Hey, you can't be here. Like you got to leave. COVID restrictions, all that stuff."
They
It was
took the
wild.
rims down by me.
They started taking all the rims down, dude. Dude, straight freaking communism, bro. That's a whole nother subject, bro. But so one of my friends who's kind of like love the guy to death, but he's a little, he's just one of those guys where it's like kind of crazy. Like I don't know if my mom would love me hanging out with him. He's like, yo, man, like black oh my god, Black Mountain Middle School has a gym. Like, let's go see if we can break in. I was like, all right, let's do it. So we go. And he's like, yeah, man, I remember like I know that one of the doors doesn't lock fully. Like it locks, but it's broken. So if you yank on it, it'll bust open. So we hopped the fence, and so it's actually me and Anthony, and I want to say my other friend Lance and someone else, and we're like, all right, we're gonna bust in. So we go over to the middle school. We hop the fence, run around the back. Sure enough, Anthony grabs the door and just boom, 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 yanks on as hard as he can. Door flies open. I'm like,
Damn.
let's go. But
We're
it's like
in.
midnight. We waited until night to break in. So we go in and we can't find the lights. And so, or he runs over and he sees the light box and it's locked. And so he like is trying to mess with it. We can't mess, whatever. Finally, he gets it open somehow. Turns the lights on. Hallelujah. We got a gym. And it's like a pretty solid middle school gym. And so I'm like, bro, let's go. So that was my gym, bro. So we started going and we would start work out with each other at night. And then I hit up my friend who plays pro now, and he's playing Point Loma at the time. I'm like, bro, I got this gym. Like, let's go. So me and him would always work out together. So we started working out together there. And then he was like, hey, I think I'm gonna invite some guys to do some, play some runs. And so he invites a couple guys, and it's, but he like has always had connections to everybody in San Diego that plays, and he's nice, and so like he just always would be at open runs, and he'd always get connections, and so he invites people, and like the first one we had, it was like 15 dudes, and it was all D1 or pro guys,
That's
and
wild.
then us, and so it was like the most fire open gym ever because everybody's looking for a gym, and we got the only gym in San Diego, and so it was the most guys that, or it was just such a fire open gym. Deal with like whatever. We had a guy from the G League pull up, and it was good. We were playing these open runs. They keep going, like for a couple weeks, and then finally like we go to bust in one time, and like the door's locked or something. They like tried to fix it, so Anthony breaks the door open. Like so now we fully have broken the door because security started to catch on to us, and so then they'd lock the light box. We'd like pick the lock, turn the lights on, break the door. And then, like
You
one
guys
night,
got in too deep.
bro. So this is where it all got bad. So one night, so Anthony told one of his friends he shouldn't have told. Bro, we pull up to work out. There's 50 people in the gym, and it's not real hoopers either. It's like a couple people that hoop, couple people that play high
Like
school,
LA Fitness.
couple junkies, couple like kids just doing whatever. Like it was just wild, bro. So I pull up, and we were supposed to have an open gym. So I pull up, and we would tell everybody park on the hill, right by on the side of the gym, park on the hill because we don't want everybody parking in the parking lot. We don't want 20 cars in the parking lot, and someone's gonna know something's up. So everybody would park on the hill right next to the gym. I pull up, and there's a yellow Lamborghini Urus in the parking lot. I'm like, who is this? And it's this guy, and he's like he's got the door open to the Lambo, and he's like shadow boxing. He's like,
Oh nah.
crazy punches things. I'm like, who is this guy? I think he is Ryan Garcia. Like, what the hell is this guy doing? And this was like when he was starting to like take off on social media. And so I didn't even think much of it. Like, so I walk in and there's like so many people in the gym. I'm like, damn, bro. And I just knew like it wasn't gonna last much longer after that. But I get in, I sit down, and I've always had this thing. So like I've always had this debate with my friends. I would always like, dude, I would beat up Ryan Garcia. Like, I don't care how good he is at boxing. He's 5'2". He's 108 pounds. Like, I'm just gonna run up, grab him, and it's
Take
over.
him down.
I can just like, lay on top of him, throw some haymakers. Like he just is not like if we're in a boxing match, like I even think I could stand with him boxing because I'm just so much bigger than him.
Now
Like,
you're
honestly,
reaching a little bit.
and so this is where my friends are bro. I swear, bro, he's just really small. And so I'm like, bro, I swear to you, I beat him in a fight. He's way more skilled, whatever the whole year. But I'm like, bro, I'm just so much bigger than he is. I think I could beat him up. Boom, I'm going to tie my shoes. I look up, and it's Ryan Garcia walking right by me. And all my friends are like, bro, you know what you got to do? Like, you have to go fight him. Like, you have to. And I'm like, dog, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna go try and fight. Like, I just can't, bro. Like, out of just respect for like a human, I just can't do it. And I was playing open gym with Ryan Garcia. He actually was a really cool dude. I mean, this was like years ago, so I don't know if he's like, what the hell happened, but
Could he hoop?
He's solid. He was okay. Yeah, like he was like if he would be like a normal at LA Fitness run. Like he's not a bum.
Okay.
He's not great either. I mean, he was pretty chill. But it was crazy. He had a fight in like 2 weeks, and he's playing in like I don't know. I can't. He's playing in like Air Forces. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like you're so many levels or so many levels of you should not be doing this as a professional athlete. But played with him. He was dope. Like we talked like for a little bit, but I'll never forget. But there was just so many people in the gym. Like at that point, then it just somebody like I think they like barred the door shut or so they did something where we couldn't get in and like threatened to call the police. So that was like the end of that. But that was like so much fun because we had so many good open runs there. It was like the only gym in San Diego that was open. It was fire.
By me, someone bought a fucking warehouse. And
oh wow,
they would host runs there, but they would charge everyone like $25 a person to go in there and hoop. So they were just raking in money, and it would be Monday through Saturday, and it would be like 20 people. So they're rocking out with like $400 a day just because dudes are thirsty to hoop.
Where was it?
It was in not Rolling Heights, if you know where that is.
Was it kind of like La Puente area?
I don't think so. Maybe
because there was a place in like La Puente. So when I moved back up, school started, and we don't know if we're gonna have a season. So I show up to campus when school starts, and they let us live on campus. So on campus, it's only athletes. So
it might be La Puente. It might have been La Puente
because it's called like PTBA is where we would go.
Okay.
And it was the same thing. Like you had to sign up on an app, and they would charge you like $5 a day or whatever to get in. And so our gym was locked. We couldn't use our gym, but I wanted to get out the house. I've been in the house for months on end. School starts, all the athletes are moving in. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go up to campus. So I go up to campus, move in, but we can't use our gym. So we're going to that place. I think it could be the same place. It could be different, but it's like a warehouse area. It's got 3 courts, and you sign up on an app.
Big. My shit was janky, bro.
Oh no, this one was like pretty legit. It was something that had like already been in existence. So it was in La Puente. So with me every day, I drive 20-something minutes, pay $5 to get into this gym, work out, and then go home. And so I started coming with my friends. We started doing runs there. It was sweet. So that's like what we did in the preseason. And then finally, like, bro, it was so late. It was like early October. Our coach was like, all right, we're having a season. They just announced it. We have our first practice tomorrow. We have 2 weeks as our first game. So we start practicing. So we had a lot of returners, and it was hard. So we had a lot of returners. But I didn't play the year before. I redshirted. Oh. So we only have 2 weeks to get ready for a game. Normally we have like 2 months. But we have 2 weeks. So everything's got to come together like this. And so we're practicing. And it's just a lot of the guys from last year, the guys that are getting reps, that are getting minutes, that are in the mix. And I just wasn't like playing super good. I put on a little bit of like I just started like freaking lifting like crazy every day. I had nothing else to do. So I was a little bigger than I was used to. So I wasn't as quick. I wasn't playing very good. And so beginning of the year started like not playing at all. As the year went on, didn't really get many more minutes. Like it just wasn't. But I was still young. I was a redshirt freshman, so didn't play a ton. A little frustrated, but I was like, it's okay. Like I'll come back next year. So that year ends. We had a horrible year. It was terrible. We only won like 4 or 5 games,
Which is
whatever.
crazy because it's the same guys from the team that was what, a 2 seed?
Well, yeah, so it was different. It was like it wasn't like those same guys. So it was like all the starters for that team left. It was like the guys
Okay,
that were on the bench then moved into this like
got
starting
you.
role. And we had one guy that was sat out because he was hurt and he came back. And so it was like a lot of guys that were like returning. And it was funny because that the day there was no transfer portal. So I think I might have been like the first year of the transfer portal. I think we had like one transfer on our team. Everybody else had been there since they were freshmen. But sophomore year didn't really play a lot. Junior year comes around, my redshirt sophomore year, and that's I'm trying to think. So my redshirt sophomore year comes around. It's my first year after COVID, and I'm same thing. I'm not really like playing a lot. Damn, bro, I did so many years of college. I'm like forgetting.
It blends in, bro. I feel
So
the
this,
same way. I
yeah,
was there 6 years.
so this is my third year. So I come in and I'm expecting to play. There's a lot of guards that had graduated, and I'm just expecting to move up. But now the transfer portal's a thing. So we got this D1 guy from Hawaii, University of Hawaii. We got this D2 transfer from Northwest Nazarene, which is one of the better D2s in the West Coast. And then we got like another guy from, I don't know, big, and our team's kind of full. So I come in and it just, I don't know, man, like it just wasn't clicking with my coach. Like I wasn't like doing as good as he wanted to. Like he didn't think I was doing what I should have been doing. Like, I don't know. It just didn't connect.
Hey,
He just,
talk about that though a little bit, right? Like that to me seems like you were in a role that you weren't supposed to be in, kind of, when you say it like that, right? So would you agree with that? Like what talk about the basketball of it a little bit more.
so the basketball of it. So, I've just done a lot of reflection on it. And I take a lot of it just as myself as not being, just like needing to improve. I think like part of his critiques were valid. Yeah, like maybe I wasn't as good as I needed to be. Maybe I wasn't as big, strong, fast, smart, good a shooter, whatever. So I'll take some of that on the chin. Like, yeah, I could have been better, but I think I was, in a way, good enough to be on the floor. So I think the biggest thing for me was I just think he didn't think I was a smart enough player, but also I got kind of like a little bit of a rep as like being a. I really wasn't, man. I really wasn't going out partying like all that stuff that crazy, but there was like one time where I stayed up till like 6 a.m. watching a movie, and like it was a Saturday night. I was up till 6 because I was just like watching the movie. Like we're just college life freshmen. And we put
Yeah.
on like Saving Private Ryan at like 3 in the morning, and so I don't know why I stayed up to watch it, but I stayed up to watch it. And with the team was flying back from Hawaii, so they landed at like 6 a.m. And my friend texted me, and I texted him back, and I was like, I was about to go to sleep, and so he told our coach like, "Hey, Rico's still awake," So it's a Saturday night at 6 a.m. So what's my coach gonna think? So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like kind of planted a seed, and then there was like my junior year, so my third year, like I'm just like not doing super hot. You can tell I'm not happy. I was very, very emotional at the time, and I just was not happy. And basketball like was my identity. So like part of like what I go through now is like, especially as like a Christian, I want God to be my identity and like what I put my everything into. And like that's gonna be my rock. Whereas basketball was my God. Like I was like, if basketball is everything. I
Yeah.
need to be good. I need to be so, when basketball was failing, I was like my identity was like shaken. And so everything in my life, like my confidence, my enjoyment, my everything was coming from basketball. And so when you're not playing, it's your third year not playing. Now I've been here 3 years. I'm not like, we go through preseason, and I was it. So we're going through preseason, and then, like we're battling for spots, battling for spots, battling for spots. We have our first preseason scrimmage, team scrimmage, and my dad took me to a Bill Burr comedy show.
Elite.
In order to get in, you had to have a COVID test. And so COVID tests were like $100, but you get one at my school for free if you said you were sick. So I went the day before we had our scrimmage. I went into the office, said, "Hey, I'm sick. I need a COVID test." Did a COVID test, filled it out, whatever. Went to the concert. It was fine. Next morning, oh, and then on my way to the concert, I get like 2 phone calls from a random number, but I don't pick up, and then I forget about it. So I go and I I go to the concert, whatever. Next morning, we have the scrimmage at like 10 a.m. You know, warm up starts at like 9. I'm there at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm the first one there. I'm there to get up shots for like an hour and stretch and stuff before warm ups. So I walk in. I'm first one in the locker room. Our trainer walks in. He goes, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What am I doing here?" He's like, "You're not supposed to be here. You're on the COVID list." I was like, "What do you mean I'm on the COVID list?" He's like, "Yeah, you told the health center you had symptoms." I was like, "Oh my God." It's a Saturday morning, so the health center's not open. So I'm like scrambling. I'm like, dude, what do I do? What do I do? I'm scrambling, calling the health center, no answer. I go to the health center, nobody's there. I finally get a hold of somebody. They're like, okay, like we'll be there in a while, whatever. The scrimmage is going to start at 10 o'clock. And like at this point, it's like 9:50, no one's there. I'm screwed. I'm out of luck. So I had to call my coach and be like, hey coach, like this is what happened. I told them I was sick. I'm not. I had to get a COVID test, so I can't be in the scrimmage today. And he was like, bro, oh my God, 10 out of 10, pissed. Because I was like already like starting to get on his bad side because I kind of had an upset attitude because I wasn't like, getting first team reps, all that.
Oh,
Bro, he like hung up. I don't even think he like entertained it. He's just like, okay, hung up.
fuck that.
They do the scrimmage and I'm stuck at the health center. I get cleared. I drive over. The scrimmage is over, and coach is like doesn't even want to see me. He's so mad. And so, bro, I mean that's like a huge opportunity, for everybody that's like proving themselves, fighting for minutes. Like that inter squad scrimmage is like a big deal. So I missed it. So now they think I'm like an idiot. I missed the scrimmage. I'm just at the bottom of the barrel now. I was like already in the middle, like in the mix, fighting. I'm at the bottom now. So now I come to practice. I'm getting like last team reps. I'm like, coach is like, hey, sit out this one. We want to see a different lineup. Bro, I'm pissed. Every day I'm coming to practice angry. And I'm trying to play as hard as I can, do as good as I can so I can show coach, but it wasn't
He
working.
wasn't having it.
First couple games of the season come by, 4 straight DNPs. DNP CD. For those that don't know, did not play coach's decision.
He's not injured.
I became Mr. DNP CD. So I remember, man, just being on that bench where I was, oh my God, I was sad, angry, upset, the whole nine, bro. Like I'd come home and I would like damn near be crying. Like I was so upset.
How does that affect your training? Because you work so hard and you feel like there's like nothing you could do. Do you almost like kind of like I don't know what the fuck I'm working for anymore, or do you go harder to see like kind of like fuck the coach vibes or?
I mean, I don't know. For me, I've always just loved like hooping. Like I just love to hoop. Like it helps me take my mind off things. It just is like what I love to do. And I don't know. I just like, for whatever reason, man, I've just always had it deep down. Like I know I'm gonna make it. I know I'm gonna make it. And so I still had 3 years left after that. And I was like, I know I'm good enough. I know that I have talent. Like I just got to keep working, keep working. So man, it didn't matter. Like 0 minutes, practice, no practice. Like I was still in there. First one in, last one out every day, especially because I wasn't playing. I wasn't playing. I wasn't getting first team reps. So I was like, I got to still outwork everybody. Like I didn't play today. So that means I can work out tonight. So I was still, man, in the gym every day. Kept working. And that's part of why I got so frustrated, man, because it's like, dude, I'm outworking everybody. And I was like doing well in practice. Like, if you put us in an open gym, I think everybody on the team would tell you, like, I was one of the best players on the team, like one of the most skilled. But for whatever reason, I think like part of it was I put a lot of pressure on myself. So mentally, I wasn't the greatest. Like when you go 5-on-5 and in practice and stuff. And then I think also like it just like hadn't clicked. I don't know. I just still needed to develop a little bit for whatever reason. So it just hadn't clicked. Like coach was kind of right in the way I wasn't as good as maybe he needed me to be, but also I wasn't. He for the role that I was going to be playing, he wanted, there was like other people that were going to do my role better. It's kind of what his thing was. He didn't really need someone that was going to have a lot of scoring ability. He just wanted somebody that was going to be out there, set good screens and play defense. And I mean, I felt like I did that pretty well, but he thought that other people did it better, which fair. Every coach is going to have his own way about going about things. So I just kept going and going and just kept working though, kept working. And finally, so one bad, just kept working, but like had a bad attitude, just coming to practice every day, moping, and like you could just tell, coach could just tell that I
In
just
it.
wasn't in it. And so one funny story, like not funny, like this is very immature of me, and like it's something that I have consequences for it. But when I was like sixth game, whatever, we're playing Cal State LA. We're like 0-4, 0-5. I think we like started the year slow. We're playing Cal State LA at Cal State LA, and we're down. It's the whatever end of the second half, so it's another DMP CD. End of the second half, we get a shot clock violation, and it's like on our side. And after the shot clock violation, our coach goes, "Dang it, it's a close game, high emotions." And he turns to the end of the bench with like me and like a couple of my other friends, and he's like, "God, you guys like, can you guys like help us in any way? Like, you're not even gonna count the shot clock down? Like, God, you guys aren't gonna help us at all." And I was like, "Okay, all right." Next possession, 25,
Yeah.
24. And I counted the shot clock down from like 25, just being obnoxious. And then the next day, our coach calls me into practice, calls me into his office after practice. It's Thanksgiving Day. We had practice on the morning of Thanksgiving, and then because then we had like Friday off, and then Saturday we had a game. Or no, we had a game Friday. I can't remember, but we had the practice on Thanksgiving morning. So after practice, coach calls me into the office, and he's like, "Hey, you are like, just so you know, you're on thin ice right now. Like, you're having a bad attitude at practice. You're not like, because like when I showed up to practice, I wouldn't talk to anybody. I would just show up, do my thing. Coach wanted people to go into drills extra. I would just stand there. Like I just would make it visibly noticeable to everybody in the gym that I was upset.
Okay.
Which like going back, I wish I could have done differently. But and then he was like, "And what you did yesterday," he's like, "I didn't say anything because I was focused on the game." But he's like, "That was the most disrespectful." Started grilling me, and rightfully so, but just started grilling me. And it was like basically like, "Listen, if you don't change your attitude, like we're gonna have to think about kicking you off the team because like it's getting to a point where like you're not getting to the point where you're not there yet. Like we still like we the thing was I always though had a good relationship with all my teammates. So that was like part of my saving grace was everybody on the team liked me. I was always respectful to all my teammates. Like I never got into fights with teammates. Um, and I was never like outwardly disrespectful to coach, like cussing at him or like yelling at him. I just was pouting. They're tired of my pouting, tired of when I did that, and then also the COVID test. It was just one thing after the other
Knocking
after the
out.
other.
Yeah.
And so I remember like crying and being like, "Dang!" Like,
But
I
Loki, bro, the coach can't get mad at you guys for not counting down the shot clock. Like
I mean, yeah,
that's
I
not
mean,
that
you're
deep.
supposed to
Like
do
that's
it,
not
right?
like a essential thing the bench got to do. I feel like the people on the court when I would play, like you don't even hear the people counting on the bench.
Yeah,
You're
I
like in the
mean,
zone.
yeah, he always would like encourage it. And he was a coach that wanted to. He was the coach that always is like every little advantage we can get, we need to get. So that was
Okay.
like something that he saw. But yeah, so whatever. So we had that meeting, and then I was like, you know what, like I need to change. Like I need to have a better attitude, and like also my personal life, like I was, like going through stuff that I just like I was just being college kid, not making the greatest decisions in the world, but like still trying to like change. I was going to Bible studies, going to stuff like that, like still wanting to change, but still kind of living that like half kind of I'm in Christian, I'm not, kind of I'm out doing whatever, just not being
One
like
foot in, one foot
yeah,
out.
kind of one foot in, one foot out. And then finally, like I start killing in practice. Like I changed my attitude. I'm still grinding, but I let go. I'm like, it's okay. Like I'm gonna be good. So I start killing in practice. The pressure's off. I start killing like consistently for like weeks. I'm like, I'm doing really well. I'm everywhere on defense. I'm playing hard. I'm giving everything I got. I'm shooting well. I'm doing good. And my coach is like starting to notice. And, I mean, like when I'm playing at my best, I feel like at the time I could have been productive, And so finally he throws me into a game and I'm like, oh, whoa, throws me into a game. I do pretty good. Throws me into another game. I do pretty good. Keeps throwing me into games and I'm doing good. And then finally I had a game where I had like 10 points or something. Once I had like 10 points, 9 rebounds, something like that. And I had a really good game. I mean, we beat the brakes off this team. They weren't that good, but like I was finally like starting to shine a little bit. And then um, we go to Hawaii, and so we go to Hawaii, and like I had just had my really good game, and so we're in Hawaii. We're playing like they're like third or fourth team ranked in the conference. They're good, and coach throws me in. I'm first one off the bench. I'm like, whoa, throws me in
Sixth
first
man
one
of
off.
the year.
But I didn't have a good game. I came in, had a turnover right away. I don't know. I think I had like 2 points or something, but I played like 10, 15 minutes, which is like really good. And I was like, dude, let's go. And our next game was against the team that I had the like 10 and 9 against, or 8, whatever it was. And so I thought I knew I was going to play a lot. So this is the night. But we ended up, I didn't have a good game, but we beat the brakes off that team. We beat that team by 40, and they were like third or fourth in the conference, and we killed them. And so after the game, everybody's lit. We're in first place in conference, and we're like, everybody's like, all right, we're going out to the bar. So we're in Hilo, which is like on the Big Island of Hawaii, and the Big Island is like not super touristy. It's a lot of locals, especially Hilo. Hilo is like almost no tourism. It's just like jungle and native whole local Hawaiian people. So we're like, all right, we're gonna go. Everyone's like, all right, we're gonna go to the bar. But I'm 20, but we have everybody on our team is upperclassmen. I think like 9 or 10 guys go out, and they're like, bro, come on, come with us. And I'm like, bro, I don't know, I don't really want to. Like, I had a fake ID at the time, and I was like, I don't know, I just don't really want to. I don't feel comfortable. They're like, no, come on. So they pressured me into it, and I did it. I ended up going. And so we get there. I give them my fake. It was horrendous. It was like laminated. It was terrible. They realized it was fake. She's like, what's the address? But I like hardly ever used it. So she was like, what's the address? And I put some random address from Oregon. And I was just like, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know the address. I didn't know what to say. I was like, fudge, dude. I was screwed. So she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna take it back and scan it. And also when we walk in, it's like a local bar with like 3 guys, 3 little Hawaiian dudes, and then in come like 9'6'5" to 6'10" white dudes. And so we come in, she scans my ID, sees it's fake, says, hey, we need you to leave. I'm keeping this, whatever. I'm like, oh my God. So I leave, and like the guy that I was staying with in the hotel comes with me. And he was like, you're going to be fine, man. Don't trip. And I was like, bro, I swear to you, I'm going to get in trouble. I swear I'm going to get in trouble. This is where the felony comes into play. Because technically having a fake ID in Hawaii is a felony.
Are you serious?
Yeah, seriously. So I technically have committed a felony. And so we go back to the room, whatever. Next day we fly to Waikiki because that's where the other teams were playing. So we fly to, I want to say it's Kauai, Honolulu. We fly to Honolulu. And so we land, we're in Waikiki. We practice that day. And I'm as soon as we get off the island, I'm like, okay, good. I'm good. Forget about it. The next day we're in Waikiki, we practice. And then our coach texting the WhatsApp group chat or whatever. And he's like, hey guys, I need everybody in the room tonight at 8:00. No. So we play the game the next day. I get 0 minutes. I'm like, that's really weird. I was just first guy off the bench. I had a really good game against these guys last time. I'm like, I didn't, it was really weird. And he put in the guy that was like the last guy on the bench. He put him in. And so I was like, damn, like I really played that bad last game. But after the last game, like the coach was like, you're good. Don't worry. Like we trust you. Like we want to see you keep playing, shoot around that day. The coaches were like, hey, be ready tonight. Like, you're doing well. Like we love it. Just keep it up. 0 minutes. I'm like, bro, I was pissed. We're out in Waikiki. It's a Saturday night. Coach texts in the group chat, says, hey, we need everybody in the room tonight at 8:00. I'm like, all right, whatever. It's just a curfew thing. He wants us to make sure we're not out doing anything stupid. Like, one of my friends went to school in Hawaii, and so I was texting him like we were gonna go out that night. I was like, let's just get through this. Let's just get through this meeting. We'll be fine. We go to the meeting, and our coach immediately starts. You can tell. You walk in the room, and it's just like the vibes are not good, and it's all the coaches in there standing silent. We all get
Dang.
in. Coach starts talking about responsibility and all this stuff, and I'm like, "There's no way. There's no way. There's no way." And he's talking, whatever, and then he turns and he points to me and he goes, and Rico thought it was a good idea when we were in Hilo to use a fake ID. And there was 9 of you with him, and we just got a call from the police and he blah blah blah. And bro, I was like, I felt like I had it was like an out of body experience. I felt like it's just like my world slowed down. I couldn't see. I hear wah 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 like at a coach, and I'm like sitting there, and so I have my shirt off. I'm standing up against the wall next to him, and I remember like as he's going on and talking, I started sweating so like profusely, like it looked like I was in the shower, like I had just gotten out of the shower. Like I was
Fuck.
literally soaked, like my hair. Like if I did that, it would have like water gone everywhere. I'd never sweat that much in my life. So long story short, they ended up the lady at the bar called the police. Police came. They called the district attorney. District attorney called my coach and said, "Hey, this happened. We don't know if we're going to press charges. Like we're still going to look into it. Because if they would have pressed charges, I would have had to go to court in Hawaii, and if they would have like charged me, I would probably have been guilty, and like it'd probably either been a fine or jail time. Just wild,
Hawaiian jail for Rico.
bro. So the rest of the trip. So okay, funny story though. So we, as a school, we've never gone 3-0 in a Hawaii trip. Never gone undefeated because Hawaii, the refs are bad. You're in Hawaii, so you know everything that comes with that. Flights, the teams are normally pretty good. We've never gone 3-0. So we win the first 2 games. This happens, bro. The rest of the trip, it was like coach versus players. He was so mad, not only at me though, but everybody else, because you know, like we're a Christian school, you're not supposed to be going out, and I guess they were out like till like 3 a.m. doing karaoke and stuff. And so our coach is mad at everybody, and everybody's like, "Man, why is he tripping? Like we just want whatever, you know." So it's almost turns into like coaches versus players, and so I remember, but like all my teammates had my back, and so I remember like it was cool. Like like the next game they did like a Rico 1 3 1 2 3 Rico, because I was the only one not dressed. I got suspended, and we ended up winning the 3rd game. So it's the only time
Damn.
still it's the only time in our school's history that we've gone undefeated in Hawaii. And bro, when we won that 3rd game, you'd have thought we won the national championship, bro.
The
We had the
Rico
guy who
game.
had the ball, threw it up in the air. Everybody's running off the benches, hugging each other, because we knew if we won that game, like coach would be okay, because he like if you win, don't matter, he's good. And so we won every borough because we guys just wanted it to be chill. Like we knew if we lose and we get home, it's gonna be hell. But and it was a crazy game too. Like that team we played against was good, and they had a lot of D1 transfers. So, I mean, I'd never seen so many dunks in a D2 game before. A game was crazy. We ended up winning by like 2, and yeah, we just celebrated like crazy. Get home. Long story short, I get suspended. I know this is kind of running long, so I'll kind of get to the rest. But
You're straight, bro. You're straight. If you're good, then we're good. I got all morning.
Sounds good. But
And shout out Ari in the chat. Goat yesterday, by the way.
So yeah, we get home, and I still don't know if I'm going to jail. So like I get home and I'm chilling, but like I'm not chilling. I'm like for 3 days I can't eat, can't sleep, don't know what's going on, don't know if I'm still on the team, don't know anything. So finally, like after a couple of days, I go to my coach and I'm like, "Hey, like, is there any update?" And he said, "Yeah, or I'll call the people." So he calls them. They call him, don't pick up. They call him back. Basically, told him we're gonna drop it. Like our coach is like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna discipline him. Like we'll handle it." So they're like, "Okay, we trust you," and then they dropped it.
Nice.
So my coach calls me in. And he's like, "Hey, look, you're." It was funny. He never formally told me I was suspended, and I suited up for every game, but he basically was like, "Don't expect to play the rest of the year." Pretty much, didn't play the rest of the year. But that honestly was a point in my life that it changed everything. Like it changed the way I acted. Like in basketball, changed the way I acted off the court, changed the way like it changed my faith in God, and like I was living kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and then after this happened, I was like, dude, are you really gonna let all this like junk, like going to having a fake ID, going out, drinking, like are you really gonna let all this like ruin your dream and your goals and negatively affect your life? And I was like, you know what, like I gotta stop. So we had like a team chaplain. I just basically kind of dumped everything. Like I was living like a kind of a life that like, I mean,
Double life.
I wasn't crazy, but like I wasn't, living the godly life that I should have been. So I just basically told him everything that had been going on, everything that I was doing. Like there was some more stuff in my personal life that like wasn't great, and just dumped everything on him and formed a great relationship with him. Like started growing and changing, and at practice, I decided, you know what, like I just need to have a good attitude. So started having a good attitude at practice. Um, Started just trying to just do my best to just. I was like, this is the bottom. I can't go any lower than this. So, just try and go up. So just tried to like salvage what was left. Cause I mean, at this point it's kind of, I'm not going to say my career's over at APU, but there's just nowhere really to go from here. Like I was thinking about transferring, but after that, like nobody
Gotcha.
I thought was going to take me, because like I had sat out the last 13 games of the season. And so I decided, you know what, I'm just going to stay. I'm going to get my degree. And then because of COVID, I had 2 years left. So I was, I'm just going to stay, get my degree. So I finished the season out. We had another good year, made the national tournament. And then my 4th year came around, and more personal growth than anything else. Just like learning how to be encouraging to teammates when not playing. And so throughout this whole experience, I'm growing and maturing a ton. And but my senior season didn't really play a whole lot. I played a little bit here and there, like did good in some games I got in, but didn't really amount to anything. I had another good year, made the national tournament. But that 4th year, just you could just tell it was kind of just like just kind of was what it was. I felt
The
like my
end of
time
your
at AP was
era.
kind of over. Yeah, and so at the time, the transfer portal was like starting to kind of get some buzz. So I think I mentioned the transfer portal. So entered the transfer portal after like literally the day my season ended. The season ended on a Saturday. We were down in San Diego. Monday comes around. I go into my coach's office and like, hey, coach, I appreciate everything you've done for me. Like, gave the whole 9. And I said, but I want to enter the transfer portal. He's like, okay, all right, well, we can help you do that. So he's like,
The
all right, you
first
go
time
right
he
down
looked
there,
out for you.
go right down there, talk to her, and then you come back here, I'll sign it, and then you're good to go. And so I was like, well, that's easy enough. And so, because I was on a full scholarship the whole time, and we don't have a ton of money, so I was on a full scholarship, just eating money. I'm sure he hated me just because I was taking up a spot. But the one thing I always say about my coach, like no matter what, like I learned a ton from him, like a ton of what I have today, and a huge reason why I was successful at my next school, and a huge reason why I'll be successful at the professional level is because of him and learning a ton. He's just like super analytical, super, all the details matter, all being professional matters, not being an idiot matters, not lying matters, all this stuff. Whereas, as this 19-year-old kid, I'm like, whatever, dude, like, all right. But, looking back on it, I learned a lot from him. There's places where we disagreed, and, that's fine. I think every coach and every player, no one's going to see eye to eye, but I learned a lot from him, and he kept me on the team, and he let me graduate, and he kept me on scholarship. So, like, I'll always be grateful for that, no matter what. But transferred. One of my other friends who redshirted with me transferred with me. We went to LPU. Long story short, went there. We both played really well. First year we sucked as a team, but I had a good year. And then my second year, just really, man, just like kept working really hard. Had 18 against LMU, 15 against Hawaii, like 12 against Long Beach State. Like had some good games against some D1 schools. It's like really coming into my own. And senior year, I think I like led us in scoring. It was like second in rebounds. I was all conference. And so this is NAIA schools. NAIA and D2 is like fairly similar. Like there's NAIAs that beat D2s every year. And so we ended up did really well. So it was cool. My first year at LPU, I had the highest free throw percentage in all of college basketball, which was pretty cool. That was like the one thing.
What?
Yeah. So like for college, you have to minimum two free throw attempts a game. to qualify, and you have to play a certain amount of games to qualify, and I did that for both. And
What were you shooting?
I think I missed one on the year, so I think I went like 56 for 57, so it was like 98.7%. I think.
God, that's like
98.
Jose Calderon numbers.
Yeah. So, but it was cool. So like D1, D2, D3, NAI, I had the highest free throw percentage, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so it did really well, man. Just like became more confident in myself, and I went to the school where my coach like really let me rock and let me do my thing. And our senior year, we had the most wins in school history, most conference wins in school history. Me and my friend that were at APU together, riding the bench, both went to LPU, and we were the two. We were the first players in our school's history to be all conference. It was fire, bro. Just fire experience. Super cool to just kind of see the benefits of just hard work. Like no matter what happened in my old school, no matter I got suspended, didn't play practice, I kept showing up every day, every morning, every night, all summer, everything. Kept working hard, and it paid off. And then here I am now. Just graduated a couple months ago, and then moved out here. So I entered the draft for the BSN, didn't get picked, but I'm out here playing a couple leagues, and then enter the draft again next year. And yeah, it's kind of
See what happens. I think my last question, and then you can rest up, bro, because I know you worked that overnight. Why Puerto Rico? Like I feel like you could play pro anywhere, you know?
Yeah.
Why
The
Puerto Rico?
reason why is because my mom was born here. So for all the countries, like say in France, you have to be a French citizen to play in their league. So each team in France has 12 French players and then 3 Americans. Same in Germany, same in Finland, same in Switzerland, same in Ireland, everywhere. They have 12 native players, 3 Americans. And so that just means that American spots are super limited across the country. But if you have a passport to another country, that opens the door.
Nice.
So my mom was born here, and so you don't have to be a citizen. Like there technically isn't Puerto Rican citizenship because it's part of America. And so, but my mom was born here, so to qualify to play in the league here, either you or your mom has to be born here. So, either you or one of your parents. But so my mom was born here, so I qualify as one of the 12 native players. So that's why I'm here, because like the Americans here are like, I mean, JaVale McGee, Boogie Cousins, Jahlil Okafor, Brendan Knight, like and those are what the Americans are like all around the world, in good leagues. Like, but Puerto Rico is like where I want to start because I have that passport that is so valuable. Really cool league. I mean, it'd be like damn near. It'd be the closest I think I could get to playing in the NBA because each team has like 2 or 3 NBA guys. Like it'd be so fire, bro, to be teammates with like JaVale McGee or something crazy like that. But so yeah, I'm out here playing in a couple like of because I'm a Puerto Rican citizen. Like I can play in the lower leagues. Like technically it's semi-pro, but I can play in those leagues, and then if I do really well in those, then I'm gonna enter the draft again in January, and then hopefully I'll get picked. So I moved out here because I did well in college, and like I'm good enough to play in the league, but nobody knows who I am. Like I've been here like once before, nobody here knows who I am. So I moved out here just so people can kind of get to know me, and I can play in front of some coaches, agents, all that stuff. So that's kind of why I chose here. But Puerto Rico is in the summer, so like regular basketball season, I'm gonna play Europe. Something like next. So my plan is like I'm gonna play here, and then I'm into the draft. So like, and then when I do get to the BSN, I'll play BSN from like March to I think practice starts in like February, from like February to like August, and then I'll go to Europe at the end of August, come back February, then February to August, Puerto Rico again, then I'll go out to Europe again. So I'll just be able to go
league. Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of why I'm out here.
Well, there you go. Hey, I appreciate you hopping on, Rico. We got future Golden State Warrior Rico hopping here. I want to give a huge shout out to the chat for keeping it popping. I know a lot of you guys just stuck around and posted up. This was a long one, but it was a good one. Hope you guys enjoyed it while you're eating your breakfast, doing whatever you're doing. Huge shout out to Boom Fantasy, and make sure you guys join our Discord as well. All that is in the description down below. And Rico, you got anything else you want to shout out, man?
Yeah, I don't know. Thanks to the chat, Phil.
We lost Rico. I'm where are you at? We might have to wrap it up if we can't get Rico back in here. We got a glitch in the matrix. I'm gonna make sure whatever Rico shouted out, I'm gonna plug it in the Discord. Maybe on our Instagram as well.